what did he say? It's like putting a vampire in charge of a blood bank. Joe in Barnet, hello. What's your story?
Hello. Yes, I'm a leaseholder in Barnet.
Which is North London.
North London. So I bought my first property as first-time buyer in 2015. And it's been downhill since then, basically. I thought it was a fairly sort of benign property of flats in this country. One argument that comes up again and again in kind of against abolition or reform is that, freeholders are needed because individuals can't be trusted or they're not capable of managing a complex block on their own.
Right.
However, when you consider other countries don't have a freeholder role as such and manage just fine, you've got to look at why. On our development, we have what's called a tripartite lease, which is a little bit technical in terms of jargon, but I've come to understand what it means. And basically, it's where the developer sells on the flat, you then have a leaseholder, you have a management company, a resident management company, which I'm a director of, so we have control over that development. And we have been entrusted to run that development and are doing so and have dealt with everything up to now in terms of the cladding issues that we've had as a collective group of residents. And then the third party is a freeholder. So what does the freeholder do in that scenario if they're not involved in managing the building? And the answer is they collect ground rents and they arrange insurance because they can take commission on that, is what I've come to understand. So something massively missing from that bill or from these proposed changes to me is to get rid of that freeholder role. They're not needed. We could still have leasehold, the leasehold system, but all these new properties could be sold with a share of freehold.
Yeah.
And actually, you asked, does anyone have experience of being a freeholder? I actually do with my wife. We own a share of freehold property. And it's chalk and cheese in terms of it's a flat within a building, it's a conversion. But, our experience of getting work done there is so much easier because you don't need the permission of the freeholder. So, for example, replacing the windows is something we did recently. If you had a freeholder in charge of that process, where they could take a commission, would they be incentivised to get you a good deal? I don't think they would, and they'd probably levy on a load of fees as well. But the fact is, people are capable of running these buildings. The government should treat us like adults. And if we're capable of buying a property, I think we're capable of running it in our own sort of shared interest. We don't need these private shell companies, these offshore companies coming in to buy up the freeholds, which is what they've done.
Well, of course you're more than capable of managing it. I mean, Russell Conway, who's worked in landlord and tenant law for 45 years, was saying England and Wales are in a minority in the world in terms of the law around freeholders and leaseholders. And, I would remind everybody that in Scotland it's a different system. If you are in Scotland and you own a flat, can you pick up the phone now, 0345 6060 973, and just explain to me how it works? I did rent a flat there when I was a reporter in Scotland, but I can't remember the details of it, so please pick up the phone. Joe in Barnet, well, good on you. You sound like you're doing a good job, and you raised some valid points. Thank you.